the Revival League playoffs. My name is Retro. I'm joined here by Ultra. Ultra, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. What about you?
I am also great. I'm very, very excited for this matchup. This is the lower bracket finals, and we have a rematch here between Arctic Wolves and FireBird Esports. They have already played against each other in the upper bracket semifinals. FireBird got knocked out down into the lower bracket, and Arctic Wolves they beat and knocked out Lumina Gaming in their previous match in the semifinals of the lower bracket. And in the upper bracket finals yesterday, Arctic Wolves gave it really their all against Flying Fabians, but they weren't able to get the win. So now we've got the rematch between these two teams, and there's a potential for a rematch in the grand finals later on this week between Arctic Wolves and Flying Fabians. But that is far and away from us here and right now. Without further ado, it is sieging time on Clubhouse. The bans have already come out. Ultra, walk me through these bans. What are your thoughts on these Clubhouse bans?
Okay, so we see another game on the map of Clubhouse, and we already noticed that they banned the Jackal. I'm not sure which team is on the attacking side, but I believe that it's a really good ban since they will probably. It's a hint that they will try to go for their own clear, or sorry, for their own on the defensive side, and by banning the Jackal, they're limiting the attacker's way to find them out and like isolate the people of the defense in order to win all the gunfights. I can't really see the rest of the bans right now. I don't know if that's only for me.
It is also for me. The stream is a little bit laggy right now, but I do believe there was Thatcher that was also banned. I know that Azami was on defense, so I guess you could talk about Azami while we wait for the stream to restart.
Of course. Well, Azami, as we've talked about here again in other games, she is a very good operator to block lines of sight with, or even create her own lines of sight. And the two most common places to play her, to play with her on Clubhouse is on the garage stairs, on the top of them, called rafters. You can create a lot of angles using her Azami gadget, yeah. And if the side, for example, is on the CC room, you can definitely like play that position and hold the whole of garage down by yourself. And the second most common place is in Arsenal on the AK corner. And if you play that position well, you can hold off the hatch drop, blue, and a bit of dirt all at the same time. Of course, it's a very hard job to do, but it's really necessary if you really want to hold the entirety of the side with as little people as you can.
Yes, definitely
The
well,
last one is
well
also
said.
Mira. I mean, we don't have to talk about Mira, to be honest. It's basically so you can just put your mirror windows on reinforced walls and have a clear line of sight on the other side of the wall without being able to get shot from it. Except if you decide to put it on a soft wall, but that's not really a good tactic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, the stream is still a little bit messy for us right now. I don't know if you guys have a clear stream. If you do, and we're not casting anything that's going on, we do apologize. But I do find it interesting that Mira is actually banned because Mira was left up in the previous Clubhouse matches that we've had. And Arctic Wolves are starting on that basement defense where Mira is typically really, really strong. So I guess we'll see how they do without her, considering that she is typically there.
Yeah.
Again, we do apologize. We have just lost the stream from the observer to the casters, so we are not able to cast what is happening at the moment.
I've reconnected. So Martin has already died to the Goyo of Park, and that's Yana off the board for FireBird Esports. That means that they've already lost one of the two entries. At the same time, Hyun is taking a gunfight with the Jaeger of Twift at the moment, and they're just holding angles and trying to catch one another. As you can see, there's quite a big presence of Rome right now. We can see the Goyo is taking gunfight with the thermite. He gets shot down from and I'm pretty sure that Jaeger is still fighting with one of the. Oh no, Flores has fallen back, so Jaeger has the ability to go back to side, and he does seize that, or size that maybe I should say. Now it's a 4v4 even man count, and FireBird got to open the kitchen hatch, and I'm sure they opened the moto hatch as well. With only 30 seconds left on the clock, now we're just waiting to see where the attackers choose to push from. Hiram gets a kill onto Justin Noob, and that's also Legion off the board. Back did try to push there by himself, but we can see that the Jaeger is pushing up to get the kill on him, and he does succeed in doing so. Hyuna is getting the plant down in Arsenal. He gets shot down before he manages to do so. There's one refrag. Oh no refrags going on. While Crazy gets Yuno as well. And Hiram in a 1v3 playing on the hatch, not really able to pick up any extra kills. And that's the first round goes to Arctic Wolves.
That was a really great defense from Arctic Wolves. We weren't able to see a lot of that stream, so I'm not really sure how they played it. But just considering the fact that that plant was going down so late in the round, and that they were going for that execute so late in the round, I do think the FireBird were either Arctic Wolves are really good at wasting their time, or FireBird were just a little bit slow on their attack. We do know that Arctic Wolves like to play that very steady and not really turtle-ish type of defense, but they do like to just hold down positions. You know, they find positions whether they are, off-site or on-site, and they hold onto those positions with their life. And I think that we definitely saw that from Arctic Wolves, especially with the Goyo still sitting inside of lounge that late in the round. That's definitely something that we see from Arctic Wolves quite often. And then FireBird are a lot more, they want to be a lot more fast-paced, but once they come up against a team that doesn't allow for that, then they get a little bit, then they stall a little bit, because of course they have to then break down that defense. It's not just about, just run in, get the kills, and go through, because of course, well, you can't do that if you can't push players out of those positions. But the second round has begun here. Arctic Wolves have come up into Gym Bedroom to defend that. As we've already spoken before, when we saw that defense, is that it's been picking up a lot of steam, and this could be another rush from the Amaru. I think we've seen this from FireBird before. However, Suka does die. That's their Osagon. We've seen this from them before, where the Amaru repels into the main stair window. Two are on the hatch, two are on the Logi hatch, and two are on the wall. Here comes the rush. There we go. Huno picking up one, but they're just getting absolutely decimated, and it's all down to Martin. He does pick up one in a 1 versus 3. All three of the other players, or two of the other players, are off-site, still defending on the cash side, and one player is top of the main stairs, tries to get the swing, and it's Tash from this closed angle inside of the Logi cubby to get the final kill and win another round for Arctic Wolves.
That was a very fast round. I really appreciate the effort coming from FireBird for that little rush they tried to attempt there. It's kind of unlucky for the Amaru, since she wasn't quick enough to get the mute and save, I believe, 2 of her teammates, which probably costed the round there. But it was a very nice attempt, and I'm pretty sure this sets the pace for even more rushes coming our way in the remainder of this map, and probably the other two as well. We'll have to see how Arctic Wolves play on attack as well, because maybe they do decide to rush a couple of rounds themselves too. I really would like to see a rush, I'm gonna lie. I don't know about you.
I would also like to see a rush. I think rushes are very fun, and they definitely give you a lot of insight into how the team is feeling. You know, if the team is willing to go for a rush, that means that they are feeling confident and they are feeling good about their gun skill. Which is definitely something that you do need, especially in a competition like this and so close to the grand final. Is definitely something that you want. But that rush, I think, might have worked a little bit better. Obviously, the timing was unfortunate there for Huno, the Amaru. But I think also having lost a teammate, I think, to a spawn peak very early on, was definitely not ideal for them, and it made the rush a lot harder.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've seen FireBird do this. They when last time they played Clubhouse, I think that was against Lumina. They did the exact same rush, where one person goes in through the main window, two are on the Logi hatch, and two are on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out a lot better for them then, but it was just unfortunate timing this time they are having to attack the bar stage site that Arctic Wolves has set up against them, and it's a quite an extended defense, as I think most teams have on this site, considering how vertical it is, but also how difficult it is to hold any position while you're inside of the site itself. There's not many places for you to be in, I guess, behind the bar, but it's still very tough. A lot of this hard reaching has commenced already, and with a little bit more than a minute already wasted, FireBird are looking good with breaking open a lot of these walls. I'm just a noob, just narrowly avoiding death there against Yuno, and has to drop all the way away. I think that's only Tash now still remaining on the upper floor, getting actively drowned out, and does drop away through the hatch. So now, with 90 seconds wasted, all of the defenders have dropped away from the upper floor and have gone either back to site or all the way down into basement to hold power positions on any of the staircases.
Back almost got one of the defenders, I'm pretty sure. Or was it the smoke on the bottom floor? I can't really tell. These vertical breaches that Back is making right now are very strong because they push the defenders out of the side itself. And as you said earlier, yeah, this side is not supposed to be played from the internally, but it's better if you play as a defender outside of the side. But still, there has to be a way for you to run back into side if you need to, and these verticals are definitely limiting that ability. Lion got injured and killed from the hatch by Twift. That was a nice shot, and he almost gets shot down from the Yana as well. But he was a bit faster than the Yana, which really saved his life there. Now, we see Huno trying to push Kitchen. Is he aware of the castle barricades and the players playing in Kitchen? Tash gets another kill onto Yuno, and that's Thermite off the board. So Tash just picked up the only hard breacher that FireBird had, while Twift gets another one onto Martin. Park gets one onto Yuno, and Tash finishes it by getting the last player of, I don't remember the name. Oh, Suko, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't a quick round, but the execution really crumbled for FireBird. Arctic Wolves just picked like 3 kills in what, 1 second?
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure that it's not that FireBird did a bad job clearing out the roamers, or like not the roamers, the people inside, but the execution came way too late. And not gonna lie, no T14 will be able to pull off a Team Empire execution here. So maybe try to pick up the pace.
Yeah, I agree. I think FireBird definitely very slow with their attack. Having cleared out the top floor with 90 seconds still left to go, that I think was really good. But then after that, they stalled.
Yeah.
That is a struggle that a lot of teams end up facing. From scrims and from other games that you play, you sort of become accustomed to taking a really long time trying to clear out top floor. So when you've done that with time to spare, a lot of teams sort of get confused because they don't know how to do it, what to do next, without needing to rush. And I think that's where FireBird got a little bit confused, especially when they still had a lot of those castle barricades to get through. You know, had they gone to those before, they probably would have been able to clear those out, but they just weren't ready to face those at that time. And then, you know, it was 20 seconds left to go, and they just had to push in for it. The planter dying was really what killed them there. But they're going to have to go downstairs and attack it again. Twift inside of CCTV could be getting some kills here. There goes the swing, gets 1, gets 2. Twift with an absolute banger of a beginning to the round. Hiram trying to find something with what?
And the game as well, because he's doing like really good right now.
Oh, yes, yeah, for sure. A lot of these players are trying to find something of the attacking team. That is really unfortunate. Having to waste, 5 of those buckshots on the on the hatch. That's really, really unfortunate. That's definitely going to be missing later on when that vertical destruction begins. But see, a minute is already gone, and they've lost their entries, they've lost their frag grenades, and they've lost their ash. So these castle barricades will have to be dealt with by hand, by punching them. They do not have any utility to clear them, unless they want to waste some of that hard breach, or perhaps if the lion has a Gone 6 in pocket. I'm not sure if he does. But
Probably
this
not.
is, I hope so, because the Gone 6 is a very, very, very good utility piece.
Yeah, of course.
But of course, only if they actually brought it. Trying to open up this wall from above, of course, through the hatch, to allow a different entry inside of the bar area. Does get the kill onto Tash. That was the Oryx inside of bar. And with that basement hatch, or with that moto hatch actually open to allow for a retreat for these defenders, that does give FireBird another entry point.
Yeah,
They do get
I
this hatch opened up. Sorry.
they did get the hatch open up, but I'm pretty sure that Tash just didn't have enough time to drop through the hatch to motor, and that's why Thermite picked him up. That was very good coordination from FireBird, by the way. The droning, they're coming from Hiram, catching that Oryx. It was really the timing was very perfect, pretty much. So that should be a point for FireBird. But I'm not sure if they can get the hatch open or not. That Buck still has two of his. Oh yeah, they can
Yeah,
get the hatch.
they
There's
can.
no more impacts.
Yeah.
From the defenders. So opening the kitchen hatch now, they have both of the hatches open, but there's only 15 seconds of the clock on the clock. Pardon me.
Yeah, and here comes the drop through the moto hatch. There goes Hiram, already down main stairs, gets one. Can he get the second? He does. Park with the kill for himself as well. All down to and Hiram now. Make that just Hiram as they do kill the planter. And Arctic Wolves take the 4th round in a row. That was really unfortunate. I think that could have worked out for FireBird, because they still had a minute left, even in that 3 versus 5. But losing those exothermic charges on the kitchen hatch and not being able to break it open until there was 15 seconds left on the clock, that definitely really hurt them, because then they had to go for a Hail Mary rush, plant in the smoke, and just hope for the best, and they just weren't able to hold on. But that was a really good try. It was just not enough from FireBird to win it.
Yeah, well, they definitely should reconsider some things that they're doing, but there's only 2 more rounds left before the side switch. So even if they get one, it's enough of a boost or like not just emotional boost, but like momentum for them to thrive on the side of defense. But as of right now, Arctic Wolves definitely have the upper hand when it comes to both mentality and also score, obviously, as we can see. Now they're going for the CC. Oh, is it CC or Master? No, it's Master. I don't think they went CC at all up to this point,
No.
have they? Yeah.
No, they have not. They've
So-
gone.
They know what to do because they played it again earlier. And this time we don't notice the Amaru on the side of FireBird, so they're not gonna go for the same rush. That might turn up to be a good thing instead of being not a fail, but a misplayed round. Now, already utilizing his forest drones to get rid of the shield in top red, and that will force the Alibi and the Jaeger to push back a bit, just so they don't get picked up by a rushing attacker. But they still have a lot of time left to waste there, while Martin gets the first kill onto Twift, making it the first death as well, clearing up the entirety of Garage back himself for now. Do they know about the Alibi playing on top red? I'm not really sure if they do. Martin pushes it up in CC, and he's probably going to engage in a gunfight with the Alibi in just a couple of seconds from now. Buck is also holding the cross angle from the construction window, which is really helpful, and Hyun is creeping up those red stairs. So now there's 3 people that the Alibi should worry about, and does Tash? No, he doesn't. Hyun comes behind him and kills the kill onto him, now making it 5v3. That's a really good difference of man count for FireBird. I'm pretty sure this is the first time they have that huge of a difference, or positive difference, I might add.
Yeah, and it's the first time that they've had the opening pick as well. So
Yeah.
this is definitely doing wonders for their mentality, especially when they've got those Walls open. They have that map control, and they've got still so much time left to go in this map to execute the rest of this attack. Here comes another Lion scan as they make the drop inside of Logi. Another push coming up from construction as well. Suka taking a little bit of damage. There goes Hiram with the kill onto Crazy. There goes a trade. There goes another. I'm just too noob. All by himself. Does get two, but gets immediately traded out. And there goes the first round on the board for FireBird Esports. Great job. Great execute. That was really well executed from FireBird. And we can definitely see what happens when they pick up the pace. Because so far, what we've seen from them is them being very slow and taking a little bit too long. But once they've droned out that alibi and got rid of that top red shield, they had 3 people contesting that one person. And once they got that kill, and of course getting the opening pick as well, that really allowed them so much maneuverability within the round to be able to then slow it down and drone out the positions of the remaining players. And get the round win. So that was much better from FireBird.
Yeah, well, and as well, okay, we have to give some props to Martin there for getting the opening kill onto Jaeger, onto Twitch, because it really, in my opinion, that was a driving force of FireBird in that specific round. And then they followed it up by using that wonderful cross angle from 3 different people at the same time, getting that beautiful kill onto Tash. And just in about 30 seconds to 45 seconds, they were able to clear up the entirety of the east side of the building, and that really helped them. Like, gave them a lot of time to just move on onto the side and play with as a team. It's ended up with a 4v1 or a 3v1, because I'm just a noob. Really fought back and got 2 kills there, but he couldn't get another 3 just as quick. Now, FireBird are going, since Arctic Wolves have gone to the bar at defense once again, FireBird decided to push that east side of the building. Maybe not the exact same way they did on the second round, was it? Or third? Third round. It was a third round.
It was the third round, yeah.
Now,
and much quicker this time. I think that they are going for a stage plant here. Oh no, the smoke canister gets deployed, gets the kill onto Yuno. That's the Capital gone, so all of those firebolts will be off the board. Twip picking up a kill onto Yuno. Hiram getting the trade. There goes another one from Hiram as I'm just a noob. It gets rid of Crazy, and now in a 2 versus 3 with just about 2 minutes left to go. Diffuser, however, in sight, so in control of Arctic Wolves. It's all down to Martin and Hiram to try and salvage this round for FireBird Esports. They still have a lot of time left. They still have 3 drones at their disposal to gain as much information as possible. And with this sprinting, this could be trouble for Hiram, and it is. Martin just barely whiffing the shots onto Park. And now having to drone and try to find out any information. Finds one. Here's one relocating into Lounge. There goes a kill. 1 versus 2. This is winnable. A minute still left to go. Could get this. Taking a lot of damage there from the Legion inside of the kitchen hallway. Pre-fires the angle correctly, but misses just a little bit. Now on about 30 HP, trying to win this. I'm just a noob who's creeping up on these doorways, maybe chasing a run out. There goes the run out, and Arctic Wolves finish up this round and finish up this half up 5-1. Great job there from Arctic Wolves to win that. I think the play there was the smoke, getting the kill onto the planter. But that was really unlucky execution from FireBird.
I'm pretty sure one of them was also like one of the defenders was shooting through the smoke. It was either the alibi or Twift on the Jaeger. I'm not really sure. But now we're encountering the switch that I was talking about, which means that Arctic Wolves will now go on attack and FireBird will go on defense. Now, what we will see from FireBird? What do you expect? Do you expect a roam, a heavy roam, or a heavy turtle?
Well, just considering their current lineup, I think this is going to be a very heavy roam. They have the Malusi to stop a rush or any type of fast-paced movement from Arctic Wolves. Of course, the Banshees slow down players, but they're also very, very loud and give a really good sound cue. But they're bringing that Oryx and they are bringing the Solus as well. So I think this is going to be a very heavy roam from the Solus and from the Oryx to try and slow down that attack as much as possible. With that Melusi to boot, it could work. But of course, it will require Huno and Martin both hitting their shots or just, dodging the bullets of Arctic Wolves and staying alive for as long as possible. Because, of course, the longer they are alive and holding on upstairs or wherever they are that they're roaming, the better chances of FireBird actually holding it out just on, time running out for Arctic Wolves.
Now, Arctic Wolves seem to be going for a roam clear, from what I can tell. Yeah, they will decide to push CC. But Martin has already fled down main stairs almost. Yeah, he is going down main stairs, getting spotted from the lion scan, but he doesn't really seem to care since he's relatively safe. Reuniting with Huno now, they might fake them by by telling them that we're here on top floor, but instead of just staying there, they will go down to the bar area and maybe hold angles onto the attackers coming down the main stairs or maybe the hatches. But yeah, they're definitely going to play on the middle floor and stall as much time as they can. While Martin does kind of find a corner to actually hide in, and he's going to sneak his way into strip club, which is a very well thought play, because if Arctic Wolves don't drone that specific area, which they seem to do, they will get shut down eventually. But now Martin gets spotted, and he's going to get swarmed from a couple of attackers just a sec from now. The rest of FireBird are still waiting inside, and I'm just getting a kill onto Huno. That's the Oryx, one of the two roamers. Now, he did get a bit too aggressive there, but he had to because he saw an opportunity and took it. Now, Martin getting a kill onto Park. That's the thermite of the board. And the one of the two breachers, since Ace is still up, and he gets another beautiful shot onto the Lion. No more Lion scans left for the team of Arctic Wolves. Now, a 4v3, I'm pretty sure that everyone in FireBird is now inside except for Martin. Justin decides to challenge Martin and gets a bit of help from Tash. Justin gets down and killed from Martin, and now Twift gets the refrag. Well, that's 3 people for Martin himself. He almost killed the entire lineup of Arctic Wolves. Twift gets shot from behind as well, leaving him with 30 HP, give or take. And Hiram, who was responsible for the damage, just decides to run back down into side and play the safe game. Now both members of Arctic Wolves are relatively low, and no one from the team of FireBird is harmed right now in any way. Still 3 smokes in pocket. He can definitely just start smoking the attackers any minute now. No, they get the info that both of them dropped in Moto. Quick fights them, doesn't get a kill yet, but Yuno gets the kill onto Tash, now leaving Twift in a 1v3. He's getting shot from multiple angles at the same time, but at the end gets swung from Suko and dies to the Jaeger. That was the first round that FireBird played on defense, and they seemed really dominant. So I'm hoping to see that. Give me a sec, I'll be right back, you can continue.
Yes, I agree with what Ultra said about how they seem very, very confident, but I think this is also seeing FireBird in their natural habitat. As I mentioned earlier, they like to be very aggressive and they like to, dictate that pace as a very fast-paced team. And once they get onto the fence, it's not the way the Arctic Wolves were defending, which we saw where they would, take up a position and just stay there. FireBird are definitely a lot more of a mobile team, and we could definitely see that where, the Jaeger and the Melusi weren't technically roaming, but they still made their way up onto the middle floor to just stall out even more time and to cause even more of a headache for Arctic Wolves, because now they have to deploy another drone. It's like, oh, there's also the Melusi, and now the Jaeger's also on middle floor. And it's also really tough to figure out what a team is doing when they're playing that way, because if you dissected a team, it's like, okay, they've got 2 roamers, they've got 3 roamers, they've got 2 people on site. But once you get into a position where 4 players were at one point or another not on site, it makes it really difficult to understand what it is that they're doing and what their play style is, because it's very unpredictable. if they're just going to be sending out players willy-nilly. And again, with that mobile a lineup, again, they're bringing the Jaeger, who's a 2-speed very quick. They're, of course, bringing the 3 speeds in Solus and Alibi. And then also Castle, once he's deployed down his utility, can also just be moving around a lot. And the Mute can be very, very strong in those close range gunfights, which we do see him trying to play for inside of a bathroom. So it's just it's a very mobile defense coming out from FireBird. And here we go. Who was just a second ago on main stairs, has already made his way inside of the CCTV. And if they had droned this out a second ago and saw that it was clear, they might just push in and not know that he's there. There goes a Claymore getting deployed on the 90. Rotate, just peeking up a little bit too far. Twift picks up the kill onto and that's now still quite a lot of time for Arctic Wolves to still get this execute down once they've cleared out one of those roamers. Huno having to pull back he no longer has the support. Getting pushed and getting line scanned as well. And manages to rotate all the way back to site safely and unharmed, but Martin still on the lurk downstairs. Will be looking to get up and away to try to potentially get a kill or two. But of course, having limited utility on Arctic Wolves, they are unable to clear out the castle barricades on the windows with any type of explosives, so Crazy had to waste a little bit of time trying to punch it open inside of Jim.
As we can tell, Martin decided to go back and reunite with the rest of his friends on the defensive side. And the entirety of Arctic Wolves is actually on the CC side right now. As we can see, the gun is also droning out the defenders. They'll probably try to go... two of them went on the windows, and 2 of them are going to push construction. Punching the windows, or co-punching the windows, I should say. Getting the castle barricade down. Harem picks a kill onto Tash, but he gets traded out by Twift, and Huno dies to I'm Just a Noob as well. Suka gets another trade onto Park, and tries to find a kill onto Twift on construction, but really didn't get it right there. Martin is still downstairs, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna notice. He's going to try to get the planter from below, or Suka's going to C4 him. Come on. What's happening?
I think they might have been trying to play for a post plant, or maybe there was a bit of a miscommunication, but there goes the C4 onto the planter. They probably were trying to give themselves a little bit more time. I'm Just a Noob picks off Suko. Now it's all down to Martin. The Solus, oh my god, what a shot to take down I'm Just a Noob, and now it's all down to Crazy to try and hold onto this diffuser for as long as possible. Martin can't find anything. There goes impact grenade, and there goes the down. What a play from Martin. Absolutely beautiful. Oh my goodness.
He was so shocked by that sound, by that shot onto the guy playing Jacuzzi, that I'm pretty sure he temporarily tapped out as well. that was very funny.
Wow.
Amazing,
what an
amazing shots.
Absolute clutch. That was a crazy clutch there from Martin. The Solus. This is the second Solus post-plant clutch that we've seen. Or third, because we saw 2 yesterday. It was actually Arctic Wolves, I believe, who were pulling off those clutches against Flying Fabians. So it's really interesting that they are now having to deal with that themselves. I think it was Tash who was playing a lot of Solus on Chalet. So that was quite interesting. That they got hit by their own poison, and for the first time in this matchup, we are seeing a CCTV defense.
And we're also seeing a dominant FireBird.
Very, very dominant. Very dominant, coming off of a 5-1 loss to now winning 2 rounds in a row and really kickstarting their defensive side. They are definitely looking good and a lot better than they did in their first half.
And also we can notice that Hiram is picking up pace of his own as well. Because up to that point, Martin and Yuno, since they were also the 2 roamers of the team, were getting most of the kills and most of the success, I would say, for Team FireBird. But now Martin is also picking up pace, and that's really. Oh, sorry, not Martin. Hiram is picking up pace, and that's
Hmm.
really lovely to see because the kill count is not evenly spread, but more people are starting to beat every second, and that's really nice to see. Now, Firebird have three people inside and two roamers. Pretty common and pretty usual stuff. Oh no, it's not the roamers. The Wamai is actually playing in rafters and holding the garage of now without the Azami as I talked about on the banning phase, it will be a bit hard for him to do so. But he's going to find a way around it, otherwise he will not be playing there anyways. Now Martin is just running and hunting drones everywhere that he can find one. He's on the bottom floor right now. Are the attackers even aware of him? I'm not sure. I don't think they have noticed him yet. And Tash does not decide to drone downstairs, which is probably really good for Martin because it gives him a way to run away, or not a way. It gives him a lot of freedom actually. Oh, now Nook is actually pushing down. She's unaware of him though. Almost gets the
Oh,
kill onto him, but she doesn't. And Martin picks her up instead. That's Tash off the board with the Nook, and will Martin run away? He's going to go up secret stairs. Now all of the attackers have shifted their own attention to that main side of the map, completely unaware of the Solis running up the red stairs any moment now. But they have made their way into construction, and Park is challenging his way into finding a gunfight there with a warden of the top red stairs. But no, they will still will wait. They will wait until they get the bridge. Which they have gotten the bridge onto construction. From my okay, Crazy gets a kill onto that's irony off the board, and they will probably try to go for that plan behind the green box or a different way. But that Solis is still alive, remember, and she's playing in lounge, so she can definitely deny the plan if they go for it now. So they should probably try to clear her out or find a way to at least delay her or distract her when the plan is going down. Now, Warden or Huno getting a bit aggressive there, but there's no one to pick a kill onto. And Crazy is still on that window, dealing a lot of damage onto Huno while he gets injured from the drone hole. I think that Jan actually injured him. What a shot from Park onto Suko while he gets a kill onto Crazy, and I'm just ended up getting a kill onto Huno. Now, the Solis has spotted the plunder, but she really can't get him since there is a box on the way and gets shot down once he tries to run up the stairs from I'm Just a Noob. Now, Hiram in a 1v3 tries to get a couple of lucky wallbangs or any kind of damage that he can since he tried to use his C4 on the plunder but failed to do so. And now will attempt to go up the red stairs, but I'm Just a Noob just reads him like an open book and gets the kill onto him. That's the first round that Wolves take on attack, and that puts them onto the match point of the game, which means that they're only one round away from winning first map, but there's also the possibility of Firebird winning 3 rounds and getting to overtime. That's put a bit of pressure onto Firebird.
Yeah, that definitely puts a lot of pressure onto Firebird. I do like there was a few things there that I noticed that I really liked from both teams. Of course, Martin playing as the Solus and sussing out the Nook, but then also that shield inside of Lounge that we saw toward the end of that round that Martin was playing behind. That of course protects him from the main lobby double door. That is a really clever play that Firebird went for. I feel like we don't see that type of thing often from teams, where they are thinking ahead to a position like that or a situation like that where a player would be inside of Lounge and wouldn't need that protection. So that was a really well placed shield there. But I also loved the adaptation from Arctic Wolves. You know, they died because of the Solus before. On the previous round, where it was the Solus, given the pings onto the planter, and then the C4 blew up. So they died to that before, and they adapted to it, so they planted on top of the green box and didn't allow that C4 to do the same damage again. And now Huno going for a spawn peek attempt here, doesn't net anything as of yet, and 10 seconds have gone. Everybody's still alive and in one piece.
I want to add that spawn pick was the same one that he used against Lumina. I don't know if you remember, but he got the kill onto Maggie. I'm pretty sure he was playing on Zofia at that moment, but that entry kill really came very early and put Lumina in a very disadvantageous place. But this time it didn't really work for him. the way he intended to work for. But it's fine because they're all unharmed right now, and they have kind of flooded the entirety of the middle floor. But Huno decided to go back into side and just play safe while letting Hiram and Martin uh, to stay on the middle floor and delay as much time as they can. I want to see if Wolf go for the third take again, or not again, but like if they try to do so, because FireBird have tried that in the past. It didn't really work for them, but you never know. Maybe Wolf play in a different way that allows them to get a lot of control using third. Now, the Tash will decide to drone that west side of the map because the Arctic Wolves have tried to come in there earlier, but Martin has also tried to do that as well. And Harem gets a kill onto Tash. That's the Yana off the board. Harem picks another gunfight onto the Ash of Noob, gets that kill as well. But he's really low, and Park is basically on the same HP as him. He tries to get a gunfight onto him, but Harem just decides to play safe and not engage in a lot of gunfights. There's another person backing him up, and I'm pretty sure that was the Solid, but she died to Bark, and Twift gets the kill onto Hiram, so both roamers are now dead. Obviously, all of the attackers are now really low, which means that for most of the guns, and especially the DMR, they're only one shot away from meeting their maker. And now we can see that Arctic Wolves will try to push that kitchen hatch. I'm pretty sure, because they burned the Aruna Gate. But they will also shift their attention to third, as we can see Park droning it out. He's probably, he will try to solo push. And while the rest of the defenders are distracted from the people on main stairs and the hatch, he will try to go in and maybe pick a couple of kills for himself. Now, we can see him pushing up slowly but surely. Putting a kill onto Twift. Nice challenge there. That was the Hibana off the board, and the diffuser is now left on the top floor, while Hyuna gets another kill onto Park, leaving Crazy in a 1v3, and he gets the last kill as well onto Crazy from a really long distance, may I add. That was a beautiful shot there. And quite a nice pre-fire with the DMR. And that was one round closer to getting to overtime for FireBird, and it made it, the score is probably 4-6 now, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So very well played from FireBird, because they just decided to use the tactic that you just place your two roamers on the middle floor and you make them stall as much as they can. And the two roamers did a terrific job, by the way, because they got kills. They got 2 kills of their own, and that really helped them to just push back the attackers and kill their pace. Because after that, the attackers really went really slowly there, and the rest of the defenders were just unharmed inside, while most of the attackers, all of the attackers, were really harmed, and that really helped them win that round there. Especially with the smoke still on the board. One smoke on the default plant could definitely kill the planter if he managed to go there and go for the plant. But sadly for Arctic Wolves, they didn't manage to even go for a plant that round. Now 2 rounds left before FireBird can go to overtime, but it's not certain if they manage to get 2 rounds in a row or not.
Well, I mean, we've seen them get 2 rounds in a row before. The only and I think that they could have probably gotten 3 rounds in a row, because, of course, we saw them win their first defensive round, and then we saw them win their second defensive round, and then they went to CCTV for their third defensive round, and that might have been a bit of a misplay. I've mentioned this before whenever we've had Clubhouse, is that CCTV, although it used to be the primary site for most teams, it has fallen out of favor for a lot of teams, because it simply got overplayed. So many strats are now, present for that site, and there's so many ways to defend it, but there's even more ways to attack it, and a lot of those strats that existed got dismantled. So that's what happens to sites a lot of the times, is they get overplayed, they get dissected, and then they fall out of favor for a site that is less common. For example, Bar Stage has been picking up a lot of traction for teams because they were looking for that tertiary site to defend onto after winning the basement site, which is still the most favorite site, and the gym bedroom site. So I think if FireBird managed to pull off another win on the gym defense, which, in fairness, it came down to the wire last time that they played that site. It came down to a clutch for Martin on the Solus, and it's something that Arctic Wolves will definitely be expecting this time. But if FireBird managed to pull off another win on here, I would like to see them go for perhaps that bar stage site rather than CCTV, because CCTV it really fell apart for them. They weren't able to hold on to that. I think that they were expecting Arctic Wolves to just push the front side or to push Garage, because that's where a lot of their setup was aimed at. They were not prepared for a push from inside of construction. I think that that really hurt them. So if they are going to go back to CCTV, I would like to see them, bring something different, and play it differently. Maybe bring a bandit just to waste a little bit more time. Um, but yeah, it's really I would really like to see Firebird pull off another one, because I like it when it goes overtime. I think that it shows great. I think it shows how great of a matchup it is between teams when it gets to that overtime. Um, so
Yeah, and I just want them to win this round just so they can go on CC again, because I really want to see a CC defense from Firebird, because they can, in my opinion, they can definitely pull it off and they can definitely go to overtime, but it's still gonna be really hard. And now they have pretty much the same setup for Jim. I'm pretty sure they didn't have the Goya last time, but you can probably inform me and catch
yeah,
the debate.
they did not have a Goyo previously. I believe that they had an alibi.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah, and they did have the alibi for the shield, but this time they have
Yes.
no shield. So I'm curious to see if they actually even bother holding CC down or not. As we can see, Martin once again goes for the drone hunting, try to limit as much of the attacker's eyes and as much of the attacker's information onto the defenders as he can, because that's Solis's sole purpose, to be honest. Just limit or not sole purpose, but like the
It's
most
the
important thing is
main
to limit.
objective. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So now they will try to hold CC down, but it's a completely different take to it. There's no reinforcements made onto red, and there's no rotate made to red either. It might be even a fake hold just to stall attacker's time right now. And Ash will try to push into garage. I'm pretty sure that I'm just a noob did go into garage right now, and yeah, he's going after stairs and pushing into CC. They might know that there's no presence of the defender right there, and that it's a really easy and free side to take right now. At the same time, Martin is roaming onto the bottom floor, from what I can tell. Kuno holding a tight angle onto the Ash there, but Ash is not going to push yet since he's droning out, and Tash is also droning out the middle floor of the building. That's really good because they can see exactly where the defenders are playing and where they're not. And right now they cleared up the entirety of the east side of the building, and they know that there's no defenders anywhere on the east side in all three of the floors. Ash will try to push any minute now, but Yuno decides to just play safe and leave. Yuno coming in a corner that is not really expected to be looked at, except if you push from top red, and since there's no rotate on top red, it's a really good opportunity for him to just stay there and wait for people to push him. I'm just a noob getting the barbed wire next to him. That does urge him to leave that spot and try to play safer. I'm pretty sure they know that the thermite is about to breach the construction wall as well, so that's why he's holding an angle onto that. While Martin is just playing in bar and trying to see if people go for nades below or something of that sort. Right now, no one is going from below. Everyone is on the windows and pushing cash, while there's people droning, as people like crazy are droning on the Lion and operators that are not going to be used right now. Thief almost getting a kill onto the Jaeger. He does manage to do so. That's off the board. 5v4 for Arctic Wolves. Martin is still downstairs and unnoticed, by the way. Park does get another kill onto Huno, and that's also Goyo off the board, leaving them in a 5v3 now. I'm not sure if Arctic Wolves know that there are two people on the main stairs, but FireBird definitely know about Tash being in low G. He almost gets pre-fight there, but he does get both of the players on top main, while Suka gets a refrag onto Park, but that's not enough to win the round, while Tash clicks his head off the lobby as well. That was a quick little 3k to end the map right there. First map goes to Team Arctic Wolves, and now there's only one map for them to finish the best of three.
That was a really great attack from Arctic Wolves. That's all I got to say about that. That was a really, really well executed attack. They absolutely dismantled that defense. They used up a lot of that utility, and once it was, a very coordinated push. You push into
Yeah.
construction, we'll get those windows open, collapse onto them from the Logi hatch as well. And that was just really, really well done from Arctic Wolves. And as you said, Arctic Wolves do pick up the map, put themselves on match point now, as they only need
Mm-hmm.
one more map win to get themselves all the way into the finals to play against Flying Fabians again, which would be a really, really interesting matchup to see in a best of five. But we will be taking a short break, and when we come back, I do believe that we're going to be seeing Chalet. Um, so,
Yeah.
so stay tuned for that.
I'm hearing all of what you say to me, but I'll think it over. It's a little bit hard to breathe, to breathe, to breathe. This kinda seems like it's a common theme. You don't think I understand what you said to me, to me, to me. Yeah, every time that we have this talk, it's a little bit hard to admit our faults. But I'm not so perfect. Is all of this worth it? Is all of this worth it? This feeling is fading, and I can't look back and can't catch my breath. It's too hard to let go. It's too hard to let go. Good, 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 good. Too hard to let go. Too hard to let go. Good. Just look at me, breathing deep. After all the things we've been through, yeah, don't forget the reasons not to let this slip through our hands. Yeah, every time that we have this talk, it's a little bit hard to admit our faults. But I'm not so perfect. Is all of this worth it? Is all of this worth it? This feeling is fading, and I can't look back and can't catch my breath. It's too hard to let go. It's too hard to let go. Good, 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 good. It's too hard to let go. Good.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Revival League Season 1 playoffs. My name is Retro. I'm joined here by Ultra. Ultra, hello. Are you ready for map 2?
I am really excited for map 2, yeah. And I can't wait to see if we actually advance to a map 3 as well.
It
The
would
bans
be
already
fun.
started, by the way, and that's nuke off the board right away from FireBird. So they were expecting the active wolves to like sneak up a couple of staircases there, but they probably caught them off guard with that ban. Although it's very common now, so maybe not off guard, but it really could have ruined some plans for them. But active wolves fight back by banning Jackal, which means that there's going to be limited roam clearing as well. Because last
Mhm.
time they did that, they were able to roam around the building effortlessly for the first 4 rounds of that map.
Yeah, they were definitely very free in their realm, and we're probably going to see that again. One thing that I want to note about the Nook ban from Firebird is that two players on Articles like to play Nook quite a lot. We see
Hmm.
Tash and we see Twift play Nook quite a lot, so that is, probably a bit of a, not necessarily a target ban, but a bit of a safety measure. It's just like, let's not give them Nook at all. Especially when Valk is still on the board. Valk, in your typical ranked game will probably be banned. just because of how strong she is. But of course, in competitive, it's quite a lot different. And with the Valk being on the board, FireBird don't want to allow Arctic Wolves to just be able to waltz right into sight without ever getting noticed, despite many cameras. And we do see Suka picking straight onto the Valkyrie. The defensive bans have also come out. It is the Cade and the Azami. The Cade, of course, is quite strong right here on the basement side to deny a lot of that hard breaching potential. But he's also quite strong on the other sides as well, where you do need to hard reach into quite a lot of places. And of course, the Azami ban at this point is not a surprise to anybody. She's a really, really strong operator. She very rarely survives ban phase because of how strong she is. You know, she's got those she's got those impact grenades, and of course the Kibas make a lot of places really difficult to attack onto. You know, that VIP area, for example, or the bakery. On top floor, piano is pretty much like it is unattackable once you've got you've got a zombie on the board. So it's unsurprising that they want to get rid of her. Even though they are defending first, they will still have to defend themselves. Or they will have to attack themselves come the second half. And even if you're coming up 6-0 on the defense, you still don't want to give yourself that disadvantage. But the attack is already starting, and this looks like to be a bit of a rush here as Park is playing the Montaigne, and they're just rushing straight into Bakery, doing very minimal roam clear. There goes the first C4, does a little bit of damage onto Park, not enough to kill him just yet. And all of the defenders have focused their attention onto this Bakery push, where the entire attacking team is coming from. I do believe, actually, there's only, all 5 of them are there. The wall is already open, and only a minute gone. This is actually really good pacing from Arctic Wolves. Now, even if they stall it out for a little bit, of course, there's still a lot of verticality on this site, and we do see Suko and Martin both playing upstairs with these vertical angles open. So, the execute is going to actually be a lot harder for Arctic Wolves to achieve, despite the map control that they've already gained, just because of those vertical angles.
Yeah, but Arctic Wolves have used some of their utility as well, and especially the C4 and one of the smokes. Oh no, all of the smokes at this point are down, and there's only 2 more C4s left on the side of FireBird. So in order to get rid of that Mondi, since there's no smokes left, they really need to cause some damage that kind of penetrates through the shield, and a C4 is probably the only way they can do that right now. Harum kills a bit of his HP back up using that FireBird device, but Yana jumps in the side and gets a freebie onto the smoke of Yuno, but gets traded up by Yuno almost right away. So that was a close close round for Tash there. What a shot from Hiram onto Crazy, and Martin also picks up one, Hiram picks up another. That's 3 kills in just under 2 seconds, leaving I'm Just a Noob in just in 1v3, 1v4 I wanted to say. He does seem to know about a player being on that reception side of the building, but he does not manage to kill him. Huno really gets a beautiful kill there as well at the end. Very fast reaction time as well. First round of this half goes to FireBird, which is the first thing we see for today. And I'm really glad to see that the first round on the whole map actually went to them.
Yeah, the first round did go to them. That was, I think Arctic Wolves might have been able to pull that off. But again, those vertical angles allowed for no maneuverability in their attack, and the only thing that they could do was just rush in sight, try to get the kills onto the people playing inside of sight, and then maybe get a plant on. But of course, losing players there, and then those very long angles from all the way inside of Freezer denied pretty much every single push that Arctic Wolves could possibly go for. And it brings FireBird up 1 round, and it brings them all the way upstairs to defend this site. I do find it interesting that despite Mira being open and unbanned, they have decided to not play her. Mira can be very, very strong on this side. She can make piano very difficult to attack into, much like Azami. She's the sort of old school Azami, if you will. She was used to shut down that site a lot earlier before Azami ever came into the game. So
I don't know if you noticed something. Goyo put one of his gadgets onto the
Hmm.
Shaiko bar, but
Yeah,
Ulrich decided to open it up, which is pretty common. He didn't know about the gadget there and really
yeah.
blew it up
I,
onto Goyo himself.
Yeah, I saw that. But luckily they have a Thunderbird to protect
Yeah.
against that, and Hyuna will be going for a C4 onto the hatch. It looks like they might be aware of that as they are shooting at him. Or no, that is just crazy with the DMR opening up those hatches. Um, at least a little bit. I think that is exactly to prevent any sort of peaks. There goes the C4. There goes the blow. And there goes the Sledge. That's 2 frag grenades off the board, as well as any soft breach that Sledge could be doing. But of course, that's also a man gone down as well. Tash dropping the hatch. Will probably be hunting down these roamers on the middle floors. Of course, that is the job of the Iana or any operator in possession of frag grenades to do damage vertically onto the defenders, while the rest of the team is trying to go for the attack on the other end of the map to push into Piano and hopefully set up and execute. But with 90 seconds already gone, this could be a challenge for Arctic Wolves.
Yeah, well, they've already established control over CS, and they do seem unaware about the player in stage. Oh no, that's a Yana clone. Okay, so the Yana clone will probably find him, and it does manage to do so. Now another drone spawning him out. Ash pushes in CS, and Nate coming in from the top of red stairs bounces off himself, but he doesn't die to it. Now he's getting wall banged, and he eventually gets picked up by Tash. Another person is playing in Pixel, but as an Oryx, you're able to just rush and start running like a psycho, and he did that and managed to get away almost scot-free. He gets shot from someone playing in CS as well, but it's not a big of a deal. He goes on the same place, which is a straight line of sight from him. He almost dies to that person in CS as well, but it's fine because he survived that. Harim also gets a lot of damage dealt onto him by a person. Suko eventually dies to Twift. Twift is inside, gets another one. I don't know how Hibana managed to do that. Harim gets a refrag onto Twift, but he's still really low. Now there's 2 people pushing top white and 1 in CS, so Harim can't really rotate around Cocktail itself. He has to kill either one of them in order to be able to save himself and go to these Kona stations. Now, Martin spots out the planter, but it's not enough. It's not a good range to kill him from without impact. While Tash gets the kill onto Hiram, leaving Martin in the 1v3. They know exactly where he is. So Tash does try to get the kill. He fails horribly to do so and dies to Martin. And now a 1v2 doesn't spot the crazy right away and gets shut down from the DMR, which is insanely it's insanely good from that range as well. Only needs around 2 shots to get 1 kill, and with 20 shots in the mag, it's really easy to get a kill onto that Solis with not a lot of HP left.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. I think that was a good attempt from Martin on the Solus to try and get that clutch. Of course, we've seen Martin clutch up in exactly the same situation before, and even just now on Clubhouse when it happened in gym. But that was just really unfortunate being on the wrong side of the wall, not being able to get the planter. Just a bit of mispositioning. Of course, the difference there is you know something like 20 centimeters maybe on the impact grenade, but of course, so there's an entire wall in the way, and you are unable to get the kill into the planter. Otherwise, I think that would have definitely been round 1 for FireBird. I think losing a couple of those players in those really powerful positions definitely hurt them, and it allowed Arctic Wolves to get inside and get those kills and get that plant down, despite losing that sledge so early on.
Yeah, well, there's nothing else to say. We really analyzed that last round there. I'm just confused about Suko's play there. I don't know why that happened. He probably might have missed his rush and just rushed a bit further away from where he intended to, and that's why he got stuck in freezer and died to the Hibana of Twift there. But that's fine. Now we're in a brand new round, so there's new opportunities for both of these teams. Since the side is upstairs again, Arctic Wolves don't really have to do anything different. They will just try to get the hatches open. This time there's no support to condense the stage. And now they're just drawn to find what operators and where the operators of the defense are playing. Hiram has switched off of the Goyo, yeah, and he has gone on to Maestro, which does grant it does grant FireBird a lot more of visibility because instead of just the Valk this time, they also have the Maestro, and Maestro Scam are indestructible except if you use something explosive to break them with. Because even if you punch them and you destroy vision, you still have sound, so you relatively have some sort of idea of the attacker's positions. Martin holding that really long angle onto the pillar hatch or new hatch, I meant to say, from pillar. They're not really, although articles are not really planning to drop to that hatch because it's kind of a death trap, so it's fine. Now, is it Twift? Yeah, Twift getting the bridge onto minibar, pushing, a bit further back into Pixel. There's already one minute left onto the clock almost, and there's no action being made at all. The entirety of the attackers is on the roof or the west side of the building, but any minute now they're going to push into bar itself. As we can see, there's only like 3 people playing inside, and at least one of them is below. Val has spotted the Ash out, and she can probably get a C4 kill from below using that pings that she gave herself from the Valcam. But as of right now, nothing is happening. Yuna gets a beautiful kill onto Twift, and that's Ikebana off the board. He tries to get a C4 kill as well, but he misses for a slight pixel. Now, the Hibana is off the board, and there's no other breacher. Hyuna does manage to get the C4 from below eventually with the Valcams helping him out, but Suka gets injured in the meanwhile. Now, 25 seconds left on the clock, and it's a 5v3 for FireBird. They can only really like hold angles and wait for the attackers to push them. Tash gets a kill onto Suka or just finishes him, but Yuna gets a kill onto Park, and Yuna gets a kill onto Tash. Crazy gets a refrag onto him, but there's only 10 seconds left on the clock. Deals a lot of damage onto the Maestro, but it's not enough to finish him, and Martin just decides to run up the stairs and finish Crazy instead. That was Crazy, right?
That was very, very crazy. That was crazy. You were talking about which player. Yeah, I do believe that it was crazy. I thought you were like talking about was that a crazy round, and I was like, yes, that was a very crazy round. A bit of a confusion there, but yeah, as I said, that was a very crazy round, and I think that was very well done from FireBird, because they wasted 2 minutes of Wolves' time by the time the Wolves were even able to push it to site, and then once that diffuser was dead and gone, all they could do was just push into these angles and try to find a kill, and they just weren't able to do that. So a great round for FireBird. They are going back down to Kitchen, which previously they won that because Arctic Wolves tried to go for a bit of an off-brand sort of rush with the Monty and weren't able to execute that. So we'll see how FireBird deal against a much more coordinated and a much more standard push from Arctic Wolves.
They did decide to go down first, and as of right now, the middle floor has not been playing late at all, but it's pretty much justified because, the bottom floor and the top floor are always better than the middle floor in most of the maps, and that's the case for Cafe as well. Arctic don't really seem... Oh no, they do seem to change their attack a lot because they go for that north side of the building, and they will go and rappel up to the roof. This time they will go for the proper roam clear. They might have an idea of the... Is that the Jaeger? Yeah, that's the Jaeger. Of Martin playing on top floor. And that's why Park decides to drone Hell out while some Twift drones the top part of the building. Now, they haven't spotted the Jaeger yet, but it's not gonna be long until they do. They do spot the Thunderbird though in Pillar, and Park is probably about to push in Hell door right now. Jaeger also joins the Thunderbird. Doesn't ever know about the Hell door being open. She does now because it's being shot at from there. No more droning right now. All that Active Wolves do is push top floor and cut off the rotates of the white stairs and the brown and red stairs. All of the stairs actually. When it comes to the top part, yeah. More droning comes out now. They will probably spot the Thunderbird and the Jaeger pushing down to stairs and getting back in the side. But Harem does get picked off from a really long angle of the new hatch to the brown stairs, and that's the Goyo off the board. Not really the best of picks, but it's still one whole person, which is really helpful for the side of Arcticals. The hatch is also open for a possible fallback, but right now there's no one playing on that middle floor, so it's really a disadvantage for Firebird. It's like the tables have turned on them instead. But since there's no breaches made onto Bakery right now, Arctic Wolves decide to go for the vertical. That's a really good angle that Suko does not manage to see the sleds from somehow. Maybe the pixels really didn't work for him as well as they did for us. But he does see the Dokkaebi. He gets a couple of damage dealt on, or some damage dealt onto her, but gets traded out from Park. Ash just decides to run down the stairs and Martin gets the kill onto her. That's just a noob off the board. A 3v for FireBird now, and all we can see is that they're all holding angles, especially the shield in VIP.
Yeah, I do want to point out. I think for Suka that was really unfortunate. We have the outline, so we can see the player above, but of course it's a lot harder to actually see that, especially with those beams. And I think I'm just a noob tried to push down into VIP to get the kill on Smoke, but was unaware of Martin's positioning. Now with 20 seconds left to go, they've rotated their attack all the way down to wide stairs to try and pull something off there. Martin gets the kill onto Park as well. They've made their way inside of Freezer now, but Yuno is still inside of VIP. There goes the kill from Yuno onto Crazy, and now Twift inside will try to go for the plant. Tash has the cover, sees him on the door with just a little bit. That was unlucky.
Yeah, it was really unlucky because he thought he got danger there, but for us it was really clear that he didn't hit the Thunderbird at all. And Smoke just pushed in through the freezer rotate that he made previously, getting the planter. And that was a very weird round. There were multiple turning points for both teams there, where you were going that this Arctic Wolves are going to secure it or Firebird are going to secure it, and it happened like a couple of times. But in the end, Firebird got the kill instead. Some suspense. Hafi, our observer, is making some jokes about Yana missing all of your shots to the Thunderbird. That was very unlucky. Now, as I was talking about this side earlier, we didn't get to see it up to that point, but now we can. So, I guess congrats to everyone for making it to that point. Now we got to see how Firebird will play the reading side, which personally I still find really strong. Because obviously there is a lot of verticality, and as soon as the attackers get that verticality, it's going to be hard for you to play around it. But, and there's always like a but in these scenarios, if you play top floor as a defender and you stall the attacker's time, or maybe even like pick up a couple of them, especially the sledge for example, it's really good. Because all that verticality just is turns out to be disadvantageous for the attackers, and just it makes angles for the defenders to pick through if the attackers are forced to go for a late round plan.
Irem this time taking the position that Yuno once took with this C4, but so far uncontested, as all the attackers who are going up to the roof are repelling on the other end of the map. So the C4 so far has netted nothing, and that is an Ionic clone already making its way into wide stairs to drone out Martin the Solus. There goes the hatch. There goes the C4. This time it misses, and Hiram just narrowly avoids death there as multiple players peek him from the hatch. 40 seconds or 50 seconds already gone as the attackers are still trying to drone out this top floor and get rid of any defenders playing up here. Of course, with Cafe being a very vertical map, this is a very vertical site, and the entirety of Reading's ceiling is completely destructible from above. So if you as defenders don't hold on to it, best believe that your opponents will. And those Capcan traps could be trouble later on, of course. They do the most damage late round when you're rushing and when you don't really have time to check or to look. And by that point, you've probably already forgotten call that your teammate might have made earlier on. And that is where the IQ will come in handy, because, of course, you could see the Capcan traps through walls. and can also shoot them. There goes the kill from Park onto Yuno. I think that was through the white stair window. Just a noob following up onto Suko, and now in a 5 versus 3, Arctic Wolves have gained quite a lot of map control, and will be going for an attack. There goes Yuno through the wall to take out Just a noob. That is a good opener there for Arctic Wolves, but immediately traded out or refragged is Martin with Crazy. And I think that's Crazy inside of sight now. Or no, I'm tripping. That was Huno actually inside of sight. I thought that was IQ for a moment. 40 seconds left to go. The verticality has begun from the sledge. There goes Huno trying to peek onto the IQ, but gets a counter swung, and it's all down to Hiram with that plant going down. So many attackers to still go through. They're holding down all of these positions and all of these angles. Plant now down. 40 seconds left to go. It gets one. Still has 3 to find, and it's Park from behind the pillar to get the kill and to finish the round off for Arctic Wolves.
In hindsight, Crazy is crazy getting all of these kills. And especially that alibi swinging out to him. In like most scenarios, you're not supposed to get to kill the person that is swinging you. But Crazy, as I said, is literally just crazy. He managed to do that effortlessly. That was the second round that Arctic Wolves get in this first half, which means that FireBird are still the dominant team, and I'm happy to see that because it really wasn't. It really didn't seem that it was the case for the last map, and right now, the pace is definitely shifting from one team to another. And I mean, the teams seem like they win 1 round each in a way. Of course, FireBird got 2 rounds in a row at first, or not, when they got 1. Then Arctic Wolves won 1, and then they got 2 rounds in a row. And now they just probably will switch that Motivo around, and it will become and pretty much even scoreline at some point, because that's mostly what happens when 2 good teams play against each other. Once again, Martin bringing that Solis. It's not at this point. It's pretty much standard. If Martin is on the board, it's gonna be a Solis. Honey, the drone's out. Already got like 2 drones off the board. It's not that bad.
It's definitely not that bad. Huno trying to spawn peek there. Oh, what a shot! And that's Crazy off the board, as well as that IQ. So the IQ will be unable to spot out the Solus and will be unable to do any damage onto any of the electricity or any of the electronic items brought by FireBird. But I am really interested to see how FireBird actually hold on to this. Of course, this is a really, really good beginning, but I was going to say that this is a site that they've won once and lost once, so there's potential here for Arctic Wolves to actually take it. Of course, that potential is lessened a little bit by that Swampy coming out from Huno, and that is, of course, really good for the mental game of FireBird, knowing that they can get away with things like that. They do spot out the Maestro sitting on cams on top of that cocktail bar. And of course, if you're a player, you might be thinking that you're safe there from vertical grenades. You are not. A vertical grenade from below will still do damage to you, depending on, how much HP you got. So depending on what armor rating your operator has, it might not kill you or it might not down you, but it will do damage. So you're still not safe there. Of course, neither the Iana or the Sledge are contesting from below, so that is not something for Hiram to worry about right now. But it could, it could be something that we see happen later on. And here comes an engagement here from Suko as well onto the players pushing in from Cigar.
I'm really excited. I'm not excited. I have a feeling that Tash is probably going to drop the Skylight as soon as Arctic Wolves establish control over piano and start holding angles. Maybe even get a soft pitch onto Trash to get the plan down. Oh, never mind. Okay, he dropped the main or the new hatch. Pardon me. That would have been a very nice thing to do, though. Like, I wouldn't have expected that if I were FireBird. Park gets a kill onto Huno. That's a FireBird off the board, making it equalizing the score now, or the man count, I should say, which is always a good thing. Well, there's only 30 seconds left into the round. As I said, Sledge getting that soft pitch onto Trash is really good, but Smoke is aware of that. He's expecting it, getting the kill onto just a noob, but Park gets a refrag and gets another kill to his name. That's a triple for him now. Sol is still below, waiting to deny the plant if it ever goes down. Park with diffuser in hand right now. Knows about Suko trying to contest him, and Suko does contest him and gets a beautiful kill onto him, leaving Twift in a 1v2. Twift knows about Suko, but does he know where the Solis is? And does he know that there's a Solis on the board anyways? Even if he did, there were only like 5 seconds left on the clock, and he wouldn't be able to get both of the kills in just 5 seconds. Suko getting that triple kill of his own, definitely tried to condense the plays of Park that round, and he manages to do so because Suko really saved that round for FireBird there. And for that first half that's now finished, we switched sides, and FireBird have won it. Like, it's a 4v2. They did a terrific job on the defense.
They definitely did a really, really good job. I found it really interesting they were bringing so much of that Thunderbird, because of course the Thunderbird can heal you once you've taken damage. And I think that we definitely saw a few of those players engaging in still surviving due to those Kona stations. So that was a really interesting play. You don't see Thunderbird get played a whole lot, ranked or otherwise, and especially not in comp, because people have already figured out certain metas and certain strats, and rarely does Thunderbird fit into that. But FireBird found a place for her, and it really worked out well for them. But now we see Arctic Wolves get onto the defensive side, and they have brought the Mira, which will be very interesting to see how that comes out, because I did mention it earlier that FireBird were not bringing the Mira despite her being on the board. She's very, very strong on this map and specifically on this site. So I'm excited to see Arctic Wolves bring the Mira and play the Mira, especially I'm just a noob who so far has not been all too generous kills-wise. So this could be the turnaround that Arctic Wolves need to pick this up and start really dominating in this half.
Yeah, well, I'm not really sure if if you've mentioned that, but Arctic Wolves decided to go on top floor first, which compared to FireBird, they didn't. They went on the bottom floor, if you remember, which is probably not that bad of an idea. Tiffy gets a kill on the Suko. That's the Nomad of the board. Did she even get to deploy the Nomad charges? I don't think she even did one, because it's really early. I'm not even sure how he managed to get a kill onto the Nomad, but that's really good for Arctic Wolves right now. Obviously, Ace is still alive, and he still has the charges on his pockets, which is really strong for him. But it's still fine, because
Wow.
they would reach either way. Anyways, what happened?
That was a really, really long angle. That was an angle all the way from inside of Cocktail through all of those walls, through the trash wall, and all the way onto the window. That is a really, really long angle. Wow, I'm surprised he even found that angle. That is, it really goes to show what competitive players can do. But that wow. I'm just impressed. I'm sorry for interrupting you there, but I had to mention that. And once I figured out how that kill was achieved, that is a really, really good one.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to hold that, especially if you're using like a Mira's gun, because not that she has a lot of recoil, but she doesn't have the 1.5, right? And from a distance, every gun has recoil. So even if you're really good at using it, some guns are worse than the others. And Vector, from a distance, is not the best, because there's a lot of vertical recoil as well, not just horizontal. But gets a kill onto Twift, and that's the Jaeger of the board. Now, equalizing the man count, which is always a good thing, not for both teams, but for the team that was disadvantaged earlier. Yuna gets a kill on I'm Just a Noob, and Yuna is going for the plant, but Mute is below. He tries to go for the C4, but Martin gets a beautiful read onto him and kills him, getting the plant down. Both of the defenders get a lot of damage dealt onto them, but Dash manages to kill Martin while Park dies. Now there's still one more person onto the window, so that way he can really rotate in Cocktail because he's being held. Harum is injured, so this is an active 1v2 for FireBird, but Huno might attempt to go for the revive there. Does Dash expect that or not? He probably doesn't. Now, running around, there's not a lot of angles that he can get shot from. But Huno is always there, waiting for the defuse sound to start coming out. And he's going to go for the pick. He gets the kill onto Dash and wins another round for the team of FireBird. That's not that bad.
Definitely. That was really really well executed from FireBird and great reads all around. Great job getting that plant out. They still had quite a lot of time in the round, but they just felt confident to get that plant down. And of course, with Arctic Wolves not bringing the solos that we saw FireBird bring every single round, they were not able to of course, find out that plant was going down. Because, for example, once I do believe that was Crazy on the mute before as well, who tried to go for a C4 to finish off the IQ on New Hatch. You know, if they had had the information of that plant going down behind the bar, that C4 could have won them the round very easily there by just killing the planter and then just forcing FireBird to come to them.
Yeah.
But instead, FireBird execute that really, really well, get great reads all around, and put themselves a step away from match point and potentially bringing us all the way to Villa for the first time so far in this tournament. In any case, Arctic Wolves have decided to go downstairs this time. As you mentioned before, this was the site that FireBird went to first when they were defending, and it worked out really, really well for them. The first time that they went there, just because of the way that Arctic Wolves decided to attack it, and then of course later on it was a bit of a lucky misplay coming up from Arctic Wolves that allowed them the round win. So I'm really wondering how Arctic Wolves are going to play this and how they are going to adapt to FireBird playing quite aggressively that we saw from them there in the previous round.
Yeah. Martin has already pushed in. Does he not know about Twifts? He literally just got drawn out. How does that happen, Martin? The misinformation there might have cost them the round already. That's the first pick for the whole round, and it's Twift getting the kill onto Martin, which is one of the two entries. Very strong pick. That's intel and frags all down. Ace also pushes up as well, and he does get the kill onto Twift, so with a nice kill there. But Crazy gets injured from the prep holes, I'm pretty sure. There's no one inside really able to revive him right now. Since they're opening up the angles as well, it's really unsafe and risk to do so. But he might be able to just crawl back right in time and get the kill there. Valkyrie gets a kill onto Crazy and Harim gets a kill onto Park. Valkyrie playing on the double door, but is not really able to do something since he got down, shot down from Harim. And Harim with a third kill onto Dash to finish that round. That was a very different ending to the round from what I was expecting to see. I was expecting to see a very dominant Active Wolf since they really got the entry kill onto Martin there. But the rest of FireBird just decided to go ballistic on them, getting 2 kills in just like simultaneously actually. And then the remaining 2 players of the team decided to get aggressive to equalize the man count, but it really didn't work out for them. So props to FireBird for that round. That was very entertaining.
That was definitely very entertaining, and I'm surprised that they were able to get away with it so easily. As you mentioned, once that Iana was gone off the board, I thought, oh no, this is now a problem. They've lost those frag grenades, they've lost that entry, they've lost that opening pick, but then they just sort of collapsed onto Arctic Wolves, and Arctic Wolves had absolutely no way of dealing with that. Probably weren't even expecting something like that, so they were just completely unprepared. For that, they decided to go back onto Kitchen as the second time of their defending it, and this is potentially the last chance. Oh well, this is the last chance that they have to play. They cannot afford to lose any more rounds, which when their first 2 defensive rounds were both a loss on the primary and the secondary site pick. I can't help but worry about Arctic Wolves. I will mention that so far statistically, I think FireBird have been more successful and generally a lot more dominant on Cafe, so it could just be that this is more of a FireBird map than it is an Arctic Wolves map. Much the way that Clubhouse was the other way around for Arctic Wolves. But it's still not something, it's still not common to witness something like this. happening to a team like the
Amar
Arctic
is ready to
Wolves.
rush, but Alabay has red here. If Tash goes on drone there, oh, he does get droned. That's kind of unlucky because we don't get to see the rush now. But that would have been very close for Huno there. And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, Huno is really the driving factor up to this point. He's really going ballistic. 12 and 4, that's a KD of 3. It's really huge. Martin gets a lot of shots there from I'm just a noob. And he does get shot down from the Deagle. Hiram gets the refrag and Tash gets the refrag on the refrag, making it a 4v3 for Arctic Wolves right now. That's pretty good. That's actually pretty good for Arctic Wolves. Maybe they get to save themselves from losing in relegation. They might actually be able to get to overtime, judging from how they played last map. But as you said, this map is really favored towards FireBird up to this point. And in general, FireBird play really good on control. Park
yes.
holding that 12-hour position, by the way, onto VAP. That's a really strong position. We saw that from FireBird as well, and obviously here too, because it's really important to have it all together.
And at this moment, FireBird have no utility to get rid of that shield either, so it will just have to be a rush to hopefully get a kill onto Park. A lot of these vertical angles are making the defenders quite uncomfortable, and there goes the kill from Yuno. Those vertical angles taken out crazy, and I was going to mention that before the action started again, is that despite losing two people, the crucial thing to note here is that they didn't lose their buck, and that's what allows them so much more maneuverability still, despite being in a disadvantage. Of course, they've evened out the score count and having, or the man count rather, and of course having the Nomad to boot definitely helps them out. But this smoke will be delaying the catch drop and the execute quite a bit. There go a lot of shots, and there goes the smoke as well, doing quite a lot of damage onto the buck. It's all down to Suka. Now Diffuser is lost on the floor, and Tash with the final kill to finish up this round and to bring another one on the board for Arctic Wolves. They stay alive to live another day.
Yeah, well, very okay. So we just honestly, the longer as we talked about it, like when did we cast together again? Like 2 days ago, we talked about if we get to the last round of the map, it means that we had a very entertaining game, and I'm really planning to see that. I really want to see that right now. So I'm actually hoping that Active Wolves manage to bring this around. But it's also good if FireBird get the map, because we're going to a whole new and different map, which means that we get to see even more things. Because yeah, it's fun when you see more rounds on the same map, but it's better if you see things on a different map, because it has different, like you need to use a different ideology for each map, and there's like a lot of strats that are so different from one another when you compare maps. And I'm just really glad to see them, because FireBird really look dominant right now. Don't get me wrong. So if they manage to win this map, I will be so excited to see the third one. I'm just really hoping that they do.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun. Well, no, because Arctic Wolves have the map win already, so it would have to be FireBird closing it out, either in regulation or in overtime to bring us to Villa. And as you say, I would really, really love to see Villa. Of course, I've been casting every single game so far in this tournament, and there's been so much Chalet and Clubhouse and Oregon and Cafe. Those are the only maps that we've seen so far. I think we've seen Skyscraper once before. I don't think we've seen Theme Park yet. And so it's just been these maps over and over again, and I'm incredibly excited for potentially seeing Villa. So I will let my bias show a little bit toward FireBird Esports here, not because I prefer them to Arctic Wolves, but because I prefer Villa to a lot of the other maps, and because I want to see map 3. I think we've only seen map 3 twice so far in the tournament. So getting a matchup where that happens is definitely a lot of fun as a caster, and I'm sure as a viewer, I think a lot of people enjoy watching a match go all the way out to map 3. But while we have a little bit of a technical pause here, of course, Arctic Wolves struggling a little bit with bandwidth. Let's discuss Arctic Wolves going to Reading Fireplace. So far, they've not gone there. They've gone to Kitchen twice, lost it, won it. They've gone to Cocktail the first defensive round. They lost it. What do you think Reading is going to look like for them?
Uh, I mean, I didn't catch what the operator crazy was on, but they do seem to have a couple of C4s. So there's no soft distraction or like any sledge on back in particular from the team of Firebird. So I guess that we will see a couple of vertical kills that will not be expected using C4s. But reading as a site is very vertical. So if Firebird don't get one of these two operators that I'm talking about, they will probably just stumble on their own 2 feet and just like fall over. So I'm just hoping that they notice the site during the droning phase and manage to counter or not counter, but use the verticality to their advantage. Because as of right now, Articles have three C4s on their pockets, and that's quite a lot to get to actually just clear up Firebird or any roster and any player using that C4 from below. Other than that, there's no castle, which means that they won't probably have any crazy strats for a top floor, but you never know because just because they don't have a castle doesn't mean that they don't have any complex strats that we just don't know about.
Yeah, potentially. Oh, and with 10 seconds left to go in this prep phase, they have not switched onto the buck or sledge. They've only switched off of the floors onto the ash. They, of course, do have quite a lot of vertical destruction still at their disposal, or rather, soft breach at their disposal with the ace, ash, and the IQ. So that is really, really good to see. And it actually shows how flexible this team is and how flexible they are, because they aren't relying on a dedicated operator like a sledge or a buck. They are perfectly content with using just those soft breaches for verticality, which could become a bit of an issue against those C4s. One of them has already been pre-placed by Just a Noob, so they will be waiting for a bit of info to get potentially a free pick with that C4. I think it might be on the bottom of New Hatch, or it might be deployed somewhere inside of or on the floor of Piano. That's typically where it's deployed when it's pre-placed, but at this moment we are not sure. I guess we'll see once it blows up. The attack has already commenced. They've wasted a minute trying to drone out there. There goes a lot of damage being done onto Twift. He does manage to escape safely back downstairs, but that was quite a risky play there from Twift to be playing in such an open position. He's still playing in an open position, trying to contest anybody playing onto the new balcony. That C4 was deployed on Ticket, I do believe, and it did get blown up, but it didn't catch anybody.
Park has been on the cam, by the way, this whole time, and now Tash got the camera instead. I don't remember if you saw that. I don't know if you saw that, but if you remember correctly, there is a cam in Piano, so they have all the info they need on the Piano people right now. So they could probably get a C4 kill down, but since they already used one with no great results, they will probably save them up and use them for the people that are directly above the side. And Twift, literally almost dead, gets the kill onto the ace. That's all of the hard breaches that they had. That's the only hard breach that they had, and that's all the breaches down. I mean, yeah, Noah did get the trade onto Twift, but Twift was already basically dead HP-wise, and it was a Jaeger, so as an operator, it wasn't like a necessary kill for them. Thinking about how there's still 2 C4s left on the side of Arctic Wolves, and there's no ace to open these angles up. They're really, really good right now. Only 30 seconds left as well. FireBird can't really do much except going for the quick planter. One of them drops in janitors while the other 2 guys trying to plant. The vertical guy is getting injured, but the planter died. That's a 2v1 for Just a Noob and Tash right now, since Suko is still injured. Tash going up the stairs right now. I don't think they know. Martin gets the kill onto so it's an active 1v1 with 10 seconds left. All that Tash has to do now is hide. He doesn't have to engage. He doesn't die to Martin, and that means that the second map is finished, and the side of FireBird win that. That was chaotic. Holy.
I'm speechless.
Okay, so, yeah, same here.
Wow, what a clutch I am genuinely speechless. What a clutch there by Martin. He's already been MVP so far in this tournament. I think he's definitely contesting that position again here in this matchup. But what a great clutch there. I really thought that was going to be all Arctic there at a point, but I guess I was wrong. I really have not much to say. Arctic did really, really well. It was just chaotic, and it was about winning those gunfights. And then it was just a clutch. I mean, there's not much that you can do or say about a clutch. It just sort of is. They're so special because they do happen so rarely, and because they're so difficult to pull off, especially in competitive siege. But yeah, great try from Arctic Wolves. Great job from FireBird to win out on Cafe and to hello bring us all the way to map 3. We'll be taking a short break. When we come back, it will be Villa for the first time to decide who gets on through to the finals to play against Flying Fabians later on this week and who goes home in third place. So stay tuned.
Got a feeling it burns in my chest. It's growing larger with every breath I take. When I fight it, I hide it, it takes me down. Yeah, I know we created a mess. It's growing bigger with every choice we make. Yeah, we're here, we keep coming around. The more it itches, the higher we go, the harder we fall in and out of love. We should burn those bridges, never look back, but in the end we lose ourselves again. Together. Together. The energy, yeah, it's blacking me out. Being so close to you, I'm paralyzed. So I'm breathing it in, everything. Oh, the more it itches, the higher we go, the harder we fall in and out of love. We should burn those bridges, and never look back, but in the end we lose ourselves again. Together. 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 The more it itches, the higher we go, the harder we fall in and out of love. Together.
Goddamn, would you look at me? Yo, I'm a lazy motherfucker, that's what everyone sees. Ain't it funny how you wanna be the best, but you can't even get up and get dressed? Wasted, face it, you're never gonna make it, make it. Rockstar.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Revival League Season 1 Lower Bracket Finals. This is Map 3 Villa Arctic Wolves versus FireBird Esports. My name is Retro. I'm joined here by Ultra. Ultra, are you ready?
I am ready to witness the final map. I was really hoping to get to it, and now I'm fulfilled.
Yeah, same. I'm very, very excited for this. We don't get to see Map 3 a whole lot in this tournament, or at least we haven't had a chance to see it all that much. And what we did, it wasn't Villa. We haven't had Villa at all so far in this tournament, so I'm very, very excited to see what both of these teams bring out onto this map. There's been nothing for them to study about each other as far as this map goes. There have been no strats for them to analyze. It's only whatever they, have gathered from scrimming before the season began. So this is going to be quite the matchup here. And the bans have already come out. It's Nook, Jackal, Mira, and pending defensive ban from FireBird. But while they do that, talk me through these bans, Ultra, for one final time this evening.
I couldn't wait for this moment. So Nook, same as Cafe, because Villa and Cafe are very similar maps for multiple reasons, but mostly because of the verticality and how open they are. Nook it can be really helpful in order to or not in order, but like in sneaking upstairs, and mostly stairs. But in general, she can sneak up anywhere she wants to, because when she uses her ability, for everyone that doesn't know, she's completely invisible to cams. There's still sound cue coming, but it's really muffled compared to when she's not using the ability, or compared to any other operator. So it's a really good ban. Now, Arctic Wolves banned Jackal for the third time in a row. Oh no, it's the second time for them, and one time FireBird banned Jackal themselves. Jackal is really good for roam clearing, and because both teams like to roam a lot, they both like banning Jackal, which is pretty self-explanatory. And then we also have the Mira ban, which is Mira is Mira. You can just deploy her gadget into walls and have a clear line of sight to the other side of the wall without being able to be shot at. Except if you use it on a soft wall, which can also be good for you, because you can shoot people and they don't know exactly where to shoot and where to wall bank, which is still kind of advantageous for the defenders. And lastly, Azami. Third time we see her banned as well. Azami and Jackal are the only ones that got banned three times in a row, or got banned as well. I'm not really sure. So
Yeah,
Azami, Yeah, Azami can create a lot of angles for herself. She can block off angles that she doesn't want to have her mind to, and she can also create cover for her to play in certain positions. So instead of just bringing a shield, she just uses one of her gadgets, and that's good enough for her to be safe from enemy gunfire.
Yeah, and while you were talking about that, we did see a run out Swampy from Huno. Did a little bit damage onto Park, but actually came out worse for wear from that engagement. Did manage to get away safely from. Did manage to get back inside safely, but still dealing with about half HP now. With the rest of these gunfights that he will have to engage in. The defense is very spread out. And there goes the first kill, Martin onto Park. It was a really, really good peek and pre-fire there onto the Dokebi. So Dokebi, with her calls, with her DMR, potentially a God 6, and with, I'm not sure whether she had EMPs or, oh yeah, here she did. She had EMPs. Those are gone as well. So there's quite a high utility operator now gone from the side of Arctic Wolves, and FireBird are in quite the advantageous position having that man advantage. There's somebody playing inside of Study, and there goes the pre-fire, but it's actually Yuno that wins that gunfight. Does get traded out right away, but not before doing even more damage to the man count of Arctic Wolves. Tash taking a lot of damage as well through those open walls inside of Study.
Don't forget, it was Twift as well. Twift was on the ace. Ace should be the last one to die, but thankfully, Andristino gets a kill onto Huno, so he gets the Oryx, and at the same time, Crazy gets a kill onto Goyo of Hiram. Now, making it a 3v2 from a 3v4, that really puts a lot of pressure and anxiety onto the side of Firebird. Now, Suko didn't even know that Tash was involved. Tash is really walking away with a freebie right there. Martin getting we're getting pressure from two different points right now, while Crazy is getting the plant down, running through the fire, getting the kill onto I'm Just a Noob, deleting the Ash off the scoreboard. But Tash is there to cover the planter. Now, using the shield of the defenders to their advantage, Arthur an angle onto the Martin, who is playing on the top red, on the top of the red stairs. Martin can't really do much now. He can only just push in and try to find as many gunfights as he can, and that's what he's trying to do. Runs over the Voltor without even checking inside of it, allowing Tash to get another freebie to his name, winning that first round from a seemingly unwinnable round.
To a really great win for Arctic Wolves, for sure. That was great execute for Arctic Wolves, and a great push and a great deal of pressure being put onto them, especially by Tash, who just went with the wind and rushed straight into side and got a lot of those really important kills. Really well done from Arctic Wolves to put this first round on the board and put FireBird a little bit shaky in their boots. As of course, Villa, much like most maps, I think in this game, is another pretty defender-sided map in the league. So it is really unsurprising that, or it is a little bit surprising that they are losing the defensive side, and especially their primary side pick. It could cause trouble for FireBird later on, but of course the game has only just begun, and I wouldn't really write them off just yet as we begin round 2, and they are defending back on Aviator Games.
Yeah. So they do take the challenge to decide to go for the same defense, but this time they hopefully will try to play it a bit less aggressive. Although the aggression did pay off for the start there, especially when killing the ace. Somehow they managed to lose the grasp of the control they had and lost the round, but this time I'm hoping to do something different. They did make the same exact setup on Trophy, and they have the Womai playing there, which is not the worst of the operators, because Womai, has the impacts and he has the discs. And obviously in positions like that, he's going to get naded eventually, so this disc can really help a lot. And he also has the Martin on the Solis for cover whenever he needs Solis needs to go up the stairs. She will just go up Astro or Red and back up to either. Right now, it seems like Arctic Wolves are going for a lobby slash study take. which is really not as common because most teams push Master, because Master is just simply stronger, a stronger push point, but it's or entry point I should say, but it's still a good point there. Oh, Tash reading the smoke there might get a kill onto him, but it's just behind the wall there. Kind of sad for unlucky for Tash there, but it's fine. Drones out the smoke and gets in for his teammate. I'm just a noob to get the kill onto Shooter. That's once again the smoke off the board. He pushes in, getting another kill onto That's Wamai also off the board, but gets refrag onto Twist. And that's once again it's the ace of the lobby or the scoreboard, which means that all three of his breaches go to waste again. But Tash is really quick to get another kill onto Martin, making it a 4v2 for Arctic Wolves. Trying to get a couple of kills to his name, but he's not really successful. Crazy gets the kill onto him instead, and now Harum left with no C4 at all and just his gun gets a kill onto Park. Tries to maybe engage in as many gunfights as he can, but it's really hard to do that, especially without a C4. The plan is definitely gonna go down. Gets a kill onto Dash, gets a kill onto injures the Ash as well, making it an actively 1v1. Is he able to clutch the round and get it for the boys, or will he just die any minute now? Crazy is not really going for the revive there, but he is coming on the wall. Will Hiram spectate or expect that, or will he die to the IQ there? He doesn't seem to know about the IQ. Very great discipline coming in from the IQ, and Crazy just ends the round and winning that for Active Wolves. The discipline that was paid there was insane. He didn't even move at all, making zero sound cues for the Goyo to maybe have an idea or get an idea of where she is. Very well played from Active Wolves once again.
Definitely very well played. And what you mentioned at the start of this round is that you were hoping for a little bit less aggression coming out from FireBird. I think, if possible, we saw even more aggression coming out from them. And I do want to point out that Arctic Wolves have read into how aggressive of a team FireBird are. You know, they were very aggressive on Clubhouse. They were very aggressive on Cafe as well. And Arctic Wolves read into that, and they're decided to counter that with just as much aggression. You know, we see I'm Just a Noob and Tash both just running in and getting those kills and getting those trades as well. And it's definitely working out for them because they have 2 rounds under their belt. And FireBird don't really have an answer for it because they were the ones to set the pace. They were the ones to be aggressive first, and Arctic Wolves just decided, oh, you're going to play that game? Okay, we can play that game. And FireBird don't really have a way to go back from that, because now, even if they hit Arctic Wolves with a wall and try to be passive, when Arctic Wolves have already decided to be aggressive, that might not work. So I think FireBird is just going to have to continue being aggressive and play this fast-paced game, and just hope that it starts to work out for them, because they really don't want to be losing their defensive half on a defender-sided Billa.
Yeah, well, now we see different defense coming in from FireBird, going onto the trophy side. Very common side again, once again. Harim decides to go onto the Goyo, but this time he's not going to stay inside, but he's probably gonna roam, as we can see. He also has the C4 available, which is always a good thing if you want to go for a vertical play. Now, the entirety of Arctic Wolves is actually on that east side of the building, and Sukuk has heard the Yana rappelling on that Astro window, while Flores spots him out. Oh, and letting Twist get a beautiful kill onto him. That's the Hibana getting killed onto the smoke, but she gets too aggressive. Let's hope she doesn't die there, because if she loses the bridge once again, it's really gonna be bad for Arctic Wolves. Oh, trying to engage in the gunfight with Park, but he gets instantly shut down. Hiram getting a refrag onto Just Noob, but Twitch getting a second kill to his name on Huno. And that already crumbled for FireBird, and it hasn't even been a minute and a half, so don't even half around there. Now, both of the remaining defenders run up the red stairs, but they have been spotted from by the Flores drones. By the Flores drones, I meant to say. Park gets 2 kill onto Twitch, so that's Hibana off the board. They did manage to get access in the side, so it's not really a big deal. Martin really spots out Park there, but he wasn't nearly able to get the kill there. Sadly, he didn't. I'm pretty sure that was the that gave Tash the ability to actually rappel into Trophy, or Astra, I meant to say. So he did. Now having control over the entirety of the top floor, Active Wolves should be able to go for the plan. Martin gets a kill and Tash gets the refrag onto Martin, leaving Hiram in a 1v2. Will he be able to stall enough? Because he doesn't have a C4 now. He only has his gun skill and his gun available to play with. Now, FireBird will try to go for the plan, or sorry, Active will try to go for the plan, and they do manage to get the plan down. Park staying in a corner, actively guarding the diffuser, while Tash is holding a cross angle from far behind, making sure that Park will not die. And he just makes some. No, did he make the holes himself? No, the holes were already there, made, and allowed him to get the last kill onto Hiram. So that was, how many kills was that for Tash? How many did he get that round? 2 or 1? I'm not really sure.
I think it was 2.
Yeah.
I think Twiff got 2, and I think Tash got another 2, and then I think it was crazy, or he might have got a 1. I'm not sure, but strategic TK.
Yeah.
I do think that was a really, really great execute from Arctic Wolves again. And again, FireBird being aggressive, but now to a fault. A lot of the times we've seen FireBird be aggressive and it working out, but now this is really becoming a disservice to themselves. But I do have to point out as well, as despite FireBird playing aggressive and getting punished for it, Arctic Wolves aren't just playing the gun game. They aren't just playing the gun game, running in, getting those kills, winning the round. They have a 100% plant percentage right now. They have planted in every single round. They've gone for that objective. They do clear out those first few front lines, if you will, and then they get the plant down and they just play post plant, and it really is working out for them. And it's a really strong way of playing, because when you've got that objective in mind, but are also getting those kills, it is definitely a really, really good place to be in, especially on your attacking half on a defender-sided Villa. I mean, it could be an outlier. This could be one of those times where defense just can't get a foot in, but this is so far not looking for FireBird, because they are looking to lose the half. And then they are on the back foot for the entirety of their attacking half.
Keep in mind, on Clubhouse, Arctic Wolves did win 4 rounds in a row, and then the game really... Okay, Tash gets a kill onto Martin. And that's the most of the board. That was very... Okay, not that quick, but it was quite quick, as it was under a minute. Harry gets a beautiful 2k with a C4 onto Tash and Crazy. At least this time it was not Twiff with a breaching, which is some sort of an upgrade, not gonna lie. Twiff getting another kill onto as I was saying, Clubhouse did go 4-0 on the first 4 rounds in favor of Arctic, but the final round, or the final score I should say, was really close. So this could either be one of the same, or what you said about the defense just not finding their footing, or Arctic might actually just be playing way better than they did on the other 2 maps, especially after Cafe, because FireBird were really dominant on Cafe. I don't think the round scores were just 7 and 3 as well, which is like a huge difference. It means that Arctic won less than half of the rounds, and now they already got 3 rounds in the first 3 rounds. They already won all of them, so they have a 100% of win right now. This is really good for Arctic Wolves. Fifth looking to get really aggressive there. He tries to do the trick, but he forgets to ADS and misses a really close kill onto Hiram. Now Suko came back up the Astro stairs so he can support the other 2 members of his team. Don't forget the Mountain right now is basically equal. Oh no, it is equal, but the HP disadvantage that FireBird have is quite big. Hiram gets a really nice shot on the Thrift, but he gives up on his position, which could be bad for him, since Arctic are able to go up into the side round, but that's actually cancelled from that Goyo shield. I'm just gonna get a kill onto Huno. Suka gets the refrag, and Park gets the refrag on the refrag once again, leaving it in a 1v1. Park really has the advantage right now, the health advantage, but will he be able to class the whole round all by himself? Hiram does not have an angle onto him, and he doesn't have a C4 either, which really push him in a bad place. No one knows where each other is right now. Park is playing in a really nice corner that Haru might not be expecting. He's looking over at Trophy or Astro because he's not sure where Park is. Now getting into bathroom, he is obviously checking every corner that he can because he's afraid of all of them. Park could honestly be anywhere right now, but they've seen him, they're spotting him out. Park knows, Hiram knows, in a close engagement right now. Who will win the gunfight? That would be Park with a pistol, both playing with the pistols, but he decides to just spray and pray with the pistols while just laying down and spamming his finger as fast as he can, making sure that he can kill the Goyo. And thanks to that HP that Twift dealt earlier, he was able to win that gunfight easily, earning the 4th round for his team. Still unbeatable, still 100% win rate, I meant, and they're just doing really well right now.
They are doing really well, and they are still getting that diffuser down. I mean, it just seems like, the slogan for the post office is like, oh, in the snow and in the wind and in the rain. I feel like that is Arctic Wolves with getting the diffuser down right now. They are just like, no matter what, it doesn't matter if there's 5 seconds left on the clock, if it's a 1v1, if it's a 5v5, we're gonna get that plan down. And it's definitely really working out for them because they keep getting these round wins, and it's also confidence. Confidence is now skyrocketing for Arctic Wolves because they are thinking, how are we winning these rounds so clearly? How are we just running in and getting these kills onto all of these players? And especially on the back of that clutch, their mentals are in heaven right now because they're all now freaking out, thinking, oh my god, Park, you clutched that, wow, holy crap, that was really, really well done. And FireBird are in sort of the same place, but on the opposite end of the extreme, where they are, just like, how are we losing these rounds? This was our map, this was our... we're defending, for God's sakes, and we just can't get those round wins. So mentals are playing a huge role in this game right now. They have to be, and especially in the best of 3, you've already played 2 maps before this. They've all got to be tired. Really unlucky hatch drop for or maybe a bit of information. Wow. There it goes. I'm just a new picking up 2. Zuko gone as well, and that's another roamer. I think the only remaining roamer is Martin on the Solus. Again, goes for a bit of a pre-fire, cannot get the kill, knows the repositioning. There goes the SMG-11, picks up the kill finally, but it's crazy with another to take care of Huno, and there goes Hiram down as well. And the plant is going down once again. Despite the Solus on the board, the plant will go down. Arctic Wolves will not finish a round without getting the plant down first. And now Martin, against 4 of them, will have to try and clutch. Can't get the kill at the Park. That DMR hits like a bull and gets the kill and another round win. Arctic Wolves could be looking at match point before the half is over.
Yeah,
I'm just saying they could be looking at match point, which I'm not saying that it could be a 7-0 closeout from Arctic Wolves. I do think that the FireBirds still have a lot of life left in them, and everything changes once the side switches. But if Arctic Wolves do put themselves on a match point before the half is even over, that puts FireBird on the back foot immensely because they cannot afford to lose a single round.
And their mental is probably destroyed as well.
Yeah, at that point it has to be, because this is, think about it, this is so much pressure. I mean, these are the lower bracket finals. They have no more chances. This is the final chance to win this. They don't have another map left to play out. This isn't a best of 5, it's a best of 3. This is the 3rd map, so this is their only chance to get through to the finals. I mean, no matter what, they've secured themselves at least 3rd place, but teams aren't going to be content with that. You want that win, and not getting it, well, that it could definitely be very, very disappointing and very frustrating. So yeah, this is it here for FireBird. They have to start gaining momentum. They have to start winning rounds if they want to advance into the finals later on this week against Flying Fabians.
I mean, I would like to mention, or I go back to what you said earlier. Uh, this could be just like right now. This could be a map that only the attack is really like is finding success, and defense is just not. Which means that as soon as the side changes, it might be just the same story all over again. So we could be looking at a map, or not like Villa as a map, but like this third map, as one that is completely attacking a favorite, at like completely like 100%. But
Yeah.
for the first time in a while, Hiram or Firebird in general get the entry, and I don't like to say this again, but that's Hibana off the board, the only breacher. Again, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's Sophie side, so Hibana is really useless, pretty much. But
No,
if it was like a different side, it would have been a very huge kill. And yeah, if they're holding up bar and other sides like that, yeah, you'll need Hibana to clear up some angles. But look at that, they have a rotate in vault. They have a rotate whenever they need to go to. So like Hibana is not really useful. So as of right now, it's not that bad of a pick. But if they went Aviator, and don't tell me that like they had gone Ace earlier and Ace died on Aviator, I'm just a noob on the top of the stairs getting the kill onto Huno. That's the Valkyrie of the board. He is not suspecting the Jaeger to be picking him from the double door there, while Goya drops and gets a lot of damage down through the wall, making just a noob to just leave. He's forcing him to leave at this point because he's really low. He needs to reunite or he's going to die any moment now. Tash getting a lot of info for the trophy side, knowing that it's all clear. He might go push up, but Hiram with the help of the Valk gets an easy C4 onto Tash. Now, they have the man advantage after 2 whole minutes, which is pretty much something that we haven't seen this whole map, and I'm really glad to see that. And keep in mind, Smoke still has all 3 of his smokes left in his pockets, and there's only 45 seconds left. So it's even under. He can start using them now, and is still going to have smoke effect until the clock hits 0. Now, using that smoke, I'm just the noob is literally unable to push anywhere because he's going to die right away. Harum gets another kill onto Park, and I'm just the noob is going to try to go for a silent flank, but this part where is going to completely ruin his plans. He's already on the top of the stairs. Seems like he knows about it. Crazy gets injured. Yeah, everyone knows about it. Crazy gets injured. He dies. Swings out with a shotty and kills. I'm just a noob. That's the first round that FireBird get on this map. So maybe Arctic Wolves are not going to get to match point until they switch sides. Maybe they do now, or maybe they don't ever, because it still can be 6 rounds in a row for FireBird.
True. I think that was a way better site from FireBird, or way better round rather. I think the big thing of note there was really how they dictated the pace. Getting that entry kill and then not being as aggressive on the back of that. Then okay, we got the entry. Let's pull back. Let's play for trades. Let's play against each. Let's play. Beside each other and not allow Arctic Wolves to have an in anywhere. I think that was a really, really well played round from FireBird, and to really waste so much of Arctic Wolves' time. And to finally deny a plant from going down from the side of Arctic Wolves. So a much better defense there from FireBird, but that was the only defense that they won, and now they're going all the way to the attacking half, or all the way to the attacking side as the half is over. So again, as we've already mentioned, everything can change here. It could just be, an outlier to the statistics. They're really just struggling to put that shield down on the map stable, which is really unfortunate. That is a really powerful shield to have, and it's still good where it is right now, but of course it is much better on top of the table itself.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Azami can do that as well, but likes his band, so can't really do that.
Yeah, that's very, very well analyzed there. There goes the opening pick. Huno picking off Crazy. Oh, and it looks like FireBird have gone back to their aggressive ways because they've already gained so much map control. They are going for that trophy attack, which you've already mentioned is a lot easier to achieve and pull off than it is from the side of study. And they've already gained so much control. They are already in 90. There goes the C4. Ed will pick up Huno. Oh, that was really unfortunate. It's the Muzzy drones that are giving so much info.
Yeah, but you know what?
to
It wasn't
defense.
Ace.
The
At
true,
least.
true, it was not the hard breacher, and they're wasting so much utility trying to clear off the Cade Claw inside of 90 or inside of Vault to open up that Vault wall. Of course, that eliminates an entire rotation for the defense, and it also opens up
What a
a
shot.
line of sight. What a shot from all the way inside of Books there for Park. Cliff picking up another one as well, and the Cade Claw goes back to life. Or Park might have thrown another one, I'm not sure, but that breach will be denied. And now, with about 70 seconds left to go, it's all up to Yuno and Hiram. Hiram getting information about Tash pushing up red stairs, does pick up one kill. Yuno jumping into Wolf window to help out and to reconnect with his teammate. 50 seconds now left to go. They have no drones. They will have to just face check everything. And try to pick up the final 3 kills or get the plant down and win it post-plant. Wasting so much more of this utility. That grenade will not find anybody. There goes another grenade. There goes the kill onto the Jaeger. That gives them an entry point into the site of Aviator Games. But of course, there's a lot of long angles being made into the Bar Games wall. And there goes the kill from those long angles all the way from inside of Bars Park. Still with that TCSG. I'm just a no playing inside of Vault, and it's all done to Yuno now. 15 seconds left to go. Diffuser in hand, pushes inside of Aviator. There's one behind the bar, trying to avoid these alibi prismas. I think one of them spots him, and there goes the kill and the swing from I'm just a noob from inside of Vault to finally pick up the kill onto the Ace and
That
to
was
win the
really
round
close there.
for Arctic Wolves.
I mean, sadly, was it It was at the end, right? Yeah. Sadly, he succumbed to Sid's timing right there because he was holding the door for the life of him, and as soon as he just tries to check a different angle, he gets swung from that exact door that he was holding, which is always really annoying to happen to someone. Like you always feel betrayed by the game. And
Yeah.
it's really infuriating.
But that was a great attempt from FireBird. Really unfortunate losing those players, and especially that C4, and then the swing from Books to get the Lion killed as well. Overall, they just sort of got dismantled and then lost out on time pretty much, because even if the Ace had managed to get the kill onto the Alibi inside of Vault or onto the Cade, I do think that there would have been a trade to happen anywhere, or the time would have run out. But Arctic Wolves put themselves on match point, and now this is truly the final chance for FireBird. They have to win rounds. They have to only win. They have no more chances. This is their final one, and it could all be over here. We could all be saying goodnight, and if we could be seeing Arctic Wolves take on Flying Fabians again, this time in the final, or we could be seeing FireBird make an absolute comeback, which, I wouldn't put it past them. We've seen them pull off stuff like that before. So not all hope is lost yet. If you are a FireBird Esports fan, I wouldn't count them out. I wouldn't, get too worried.
Yeah,
not all hope
100%.
is lost yet. There's still so much of Siege to play. But without further ado, 2 minutes, 30 seconds have already gone. As we see FireBird trying to attack onto Trophy Statuary.
Yeah, well, I mean, they do choose a way that is probably better than going for a direct take onto Master. And this way, they have already cleared the entirety of the south side, so like, they have a lot of control already established. But from what I can tell right now, there's no smokes on the team, which is not necessarily bad. But I'm really curious as to how they're going to manage to get the plant down, or if they're going to get the plant down even. They completely have gone, know nothing about Valcam that is on the top of the red stairs, which is really good for Arctic Wolves, and they have a lot of info on Firebird. But Firebird have also had info on Arctic Wolves themselves. While Harm gets a kill onto Crazy, that was the Valkyrie stuff, which is not necessarily bad because that's something beyond counts. But Tash also dies to Hiram, making it a 5v3 for Firebird. Will they be able to pick up the last people? Yuno gets injured to a Frostmat, which is something that wouldn't be a problem if this was the new season, but it's not yet. So you're kind of stuck there, mate. Swift gets a kill onto Hiram, making a 3v3 right now, but Yuno gets revived. So two of them are on like really low HP, and Swift is just outside chilling out. Park gets a kill onto Yuno, trying to go for the plant. That the miss from Martin that really cost that round there. Park getting him instead. Yuno kills the Park, so that's a refrag, but they still got the plant down, and Swift is just made his way into the building. Okay, well, run up the stairs maybe. You don't have a lot of time on your hands. You need to do something, mate. Okay, so he's sneaking up red stairs, expecting someone to be there. He doesn't know about the guy that's out. He gets into the frost, man, making it. Oh no! Will he check the corner though? He did. He wins the round.
But he can't find a diffuser, and he finds a
does.
diffuser.
No
oh
way,
my
bro.
god, what a win! I cannot believe that this is the way that Arctic Wolves win the map and the match.
No way,
Oh
bro.
no! Oh, that
indeed.
is so unlucky. Wow. I mean, Frost really coming in for the win. Unbelievable. I'm so speechless, not gonna lie. That is wow.
It's kind of
I
devastating.
feel so bad for Firebird right now. That was looking all Firebird, and it was one Frostmat that lost it. Wow.
Yeah.
Um unbelievable.
Well,
But great try. That ends the run from Firebird in these playoffs.
yeah.
We have reached the end. Pretty much as the only game now left to play will be the best of five between Flying Fabians and Arctic Wolves. They will be having a rematch. They played
Yeah.
yesterday. Arctic Wolves are having some internet issues, of course, if you're aware. The UK had a massive blackout as far as internet goes, and unfortunately, Arctic Wolves were suffering from that as well. So they were having to play with a sub, and then it was just it was actually a really good game. If you've missed it, I do encourage you to go back and watch the game between Arctic Wolves and Flying Fabians yesterday. But in any case, Arctic Wolves will be taking on Flying Fabians again later on this week. It was supposed to be tomorrow, but it might not be, as of course, players have other obligations and have work and school and all that kind of stuff. So it might be later on in the week. So stay tuned on the socials, and of course keep your notifications on for the Twitch channel to be notified of when we go live again.
Yeah.
In any case, that will be all for us. Do you have any finishing words to say there, Ultra, about this
Well,
game?
well, it was a banger of a game. I'm really glad that we got to see all three maps, and now it's going to be a rematch between Flying Fabians and Active Wolves, as you said, and I'm really excited to see that too. Especially considering that it's going to be a best of five. So even if you manage to lose two matches, you still have one more chance. It's never over. It's so long. It will take so long. It's going to be so fun, and I'm really hoping it happens on Saturday because that's my day off, and I can actually cast it and be here with you all. And I really want to do that. So I'm hoping this rematch ends better for Arctic Wolves. Because the last time they were really unfortunate, and this time they deserve to have some luck onto their side. Honestly, well, that's all I had to say. Honestly, I'm really excited to watch that best of five and see who the winner will be for this first season of Revival League.
That's also true.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned for sure. But I do want to say, you were talking about how you want more luck there for Arctic Wolves. I have to point this out. Flying Fabians are a top seed from the Premier League. Of course, in Revival League there are two leagues. There is the Champions League, and then there's also the Premier League, which is where these teams are from. And the Premier League is the sort of like lower tier league, and Flying Fabians have absolutely decimated every single team from the Champions League. Of course, they've decimated their teammates as well, or their co-teams, co-competitors inside of the league. But they've made their way all the way down to the finals from the upper bracket. They did not go down to the lower bracket at any point. So I do want to see how Flying Fabians win it all. The complete underdog coming up from the Premier League, that will definitely be a match for the ages.
Yeah,
But
100%.
I will not stall the stream for any bit longer. I'm sure Happy also wants to go home and do whatever Happy does in the evenings. But anyway, thank you everybody for watching, and good night.
Good night, boys.